Hi everyone, it's been a really long time since we have met again, and today we have with us Shravan with us, an amazing person from community space. Like we both are community lovers, been contributing to the community for a very long time. And Shravan is a DevRel and community associate working at Nasiko, and we would love to know more about Shravan. Hi Shravan, how are you?
Well, Manik, that's really great. Thanks for the warm intro and really grateful to be here with you guys. And the community is more just a word to me. It's the people, it's the upbringing, it's the mindset that building with people, going with people, and actually not just tech, but actually giving those creatives idea a space where they can build together, where they can ideate and innovate something that could become a future. So I think community is more like by the people, for the people, and make the people.
Wow, that could be the best opening of any podcast, Shravan. Really nice to know all the insights. I'm pretty excited for what you'll be sharing in the coming discussion. But Shravan, we would love to know more about you, like how you started in the community space and where you're heading right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in the community, when the word community arrives, I just forget my own identity. It's just about the community always. I know that. But let me walk you through my short journey. So, hi guys, I'm Shrawan Saproo. I work as a DevRel community associate at Nasiko. So, we're building a control plane for AI agents. But my journey started with more like attending events, organizing buildathons, organizing workshops. I founded India's open source and first and only API community, which has partnered with 25 plus firms in evangelizing around API products and building stuff around how the creative ideas can be brought up to the picture and given a stage or a platform to advocate for. But mostly, my community journey is all about how to navigate people's mindset in a singular way that it actually articulates something that could become a reality or a future product. That can be something in tech, that can be something in non-tech, but mostly it relies on your mindset and creativity, the how you want to scale. So it's more like the hashtag goes community connect collaborate, and that's what we stand for. That's the key thing I have been doing. I work with multiple brands like Postman, DigitalOcean, Google for developers. I have been in the community space, got to know Manik on a running metro train. So that's kind of a once in a lifetime experience for me. Like, well, just sitting with each other behind, and that took a lot. But actually, this space has not just given me experience, but people, momentum, and the credibility to believe in ourselves and build what we want to build. So I think community is more about growing with people, giving them a platform to navigate for, and advocating. That's all about me currently.
That being rightly said, Shravan, it is a platform where we give the people, connect people, support them, and got to meet a lot of people. That's really beautiful to know, Shravan, that you've covered. Nice. So moving further, Shravan, looking back, what are the three things you did right that helped the community grow? You can take an example of any community which you have started from scratch, and what are the things that you have did to grow the community?
Well, definitely the questions more sound like an interview, but still I'll reply. No worries. So when it comes to building community, I'll take just a quick example of what I've been building from past 3 years, the API community, previously renowned as Postman Community Pune. So the understanding or the building foundation of any community is around being consistent around the vision. The first pointer will be being consistent around the vision. Second, it shouldn't be always focused on the community. It should be focused more on the people contributing for, giving them a platform to engage within and appreciating every single effort. Like it should be an appreciation feedback cycle. And third, and the most important part, active communication and engagement. Like mostly what happens when you scale to a number and you got a bunch of people around like 5,000, 10,000 people. So we think like community is just a service. No, it's not a service. It's more like the foundation of communicating between two mindsets or multiple mindset at the same time to bring out your creativity and empathy towards what you are building today and actually navigating that through multiple strategies and events and communities initiatives so that people would see what value they bring in as a member also as a leader also, because the real time initiative we took in and always build for it's more around how to give people an adaptable interface to leverage their mindset and creativity and build something up, and that's how we have scaled the API community and still building it now. So these three things matter a lot: active consistency and communication, feedback over how people are building and what they're expecting from us, and the most important, outcome based results. That's the three key things I think every community manager and every professional should focus upon. Actively communicating, actively retaining, and actively showing up, because showing up means that you care. That's the best thing any community can do. Build trust, build empathy, because people will know the tech, but if they know you as a person by heart, then your 80% work is done.
Wonderful, Shravan. So we have discussed some of the verticals here, feedbacks, and we have took the example of an online community, kind of because the communication platform is online, right? There might be, we can take any platform, whether WhatsApp, Discord, Telegram, Slack. There are multiple platforms that can serve as a communication between where members of the community can come and communicate, and showing up as well as yeah, sense of belongingness. So would love to know how, particularly in an online community, you give them a sense of belonging because it's online, right? They're not meeting in real life, first thing. And secondly, feedback. We have talked about feedback, like how you take feedback from the members and what cycle we should implement in place so that the feedback is implemented in real time. The members feel okay, we have given the feedback, now the feedback is implemented in the community, because that is really important in the online community, Shravan. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to manage online community. Would love to know your experiences.
Well, Manik, that's kind of a pretty much question, as we people always been on the grounds with communities. So when it comes to actually virtually scaling with people whom you are not meeting regularly, whom you are not conversation on a regular basis, I think the best way will be recognizing their contributions and actively seeking what they want to build in. Because if you take a use case, if some members bring up a feature or something, an initiative they want to plan for, but as we are on the different parts of world or different regions, how we can navigate together, the best strategy would be encouragement through campaigns which actually people can contribute to on a regular basis. Something like you can organize social quizzes, something like you can organize a product build-a-thon where people are just putting their ideas, and just you can utilize AI tools as well. As we are in the wave of AI, you can utilize tools like Claude and like having multiple short-term hackathons over virtual spaces where they can just put their creatives and ship something up, rather it be related to some product or idea. And when it comes to feedback, so whenever we are in a virtual space, it's very important to actively seek what people are looking forward to, because we are not meeting, we are not connecting on a regular basis. So it's very important to keep the insights what people are looking forward to, in terms of bounties, in terms of campaign, in terms of social media shout outs. It's more around give them the appreciation and encouragement they need. Because when it comes to actually contributing to something, people would love to have a gratitude way where their efforts, their single message, and everything they have brought up till now should be appreciated in some way, that people feel that belongingness, because that matters a lot when you're handling a virtual space. And in order to do so, you need to have such an active behavior over energy, also over that actual voice, also, and having that navigation of ideas on a regular basis, because layering those communication will take a lot of energy. But in order to sustain, you need to develop a flow, a kind of a timeline, either it be a 7 day spirit or a 14-day spirit on regular basis, like these kind of podcasts what you are planning. It's a really great initiative to actually leverage the people, that what we are building here is not just about sharing our opinions, it's about what we have experienced and what we have felt till now. We're sharing our journey so that others, if they're facing the same kind of problems and the story they want to build for themselves, can be advocated for in such a way that it represents their journey rather than just overblows. I think that could be the key initiative in virtual communities you can try for.
Wonderful, Shravan. That's really, I can see that is coming from experience because you have experience of building a lot of communities. And we have talked about retaining, and as well as the topic of our discussion is people in the community, people of the community, and community is there because of people, right? People are the heart of the community. So, suppose if someone is starting a community, someone has the idea and the community is not there, but they wanted to make a community, and maybe if there is a community already existing community, how can we find the relevant people for a particular community? How can we add them in the community? And moreover, retaining factor, how we can retain those people in the community, because being a part of the community, we don't know whether we can give a lot of things to them as a member or what kind of benefits. So on this factor, would love to know your perspectives.
Well, that's kind of a question, Manik, as when it comes to actually leveraging and building something from scratch in today's time. Firstly, what I'll say, the question remains the same, but the answer is little bit typical from my side. What I'll say is community is not just a word or a bunch of people. It's a thought, basically. It's an idea that perceived by someone while building with people and leveraging his thoughtfulness to multiple scenarios or multiple mindsets. So that some mindsets come together and actually execute something that it prevails a new way over a domain, over a technology, over a way of life it can be. So community is not just about retaining, it's more like giving a fundamental of understanding value of ideation. Because when you give a value of ideation, like let's do this, for example, let's take a use case. If there is a community you want to form for voice of people, so for voice of people, it matters people should share their voice on active platforms. So even if they are making videos, even they are making regular content, if they don't have the real visibility over the right platform, so it's really important to identify which particular category you're targeting with, which platforms are the most sustainable and most active into it. Like for example, if you're making reels, you would go to Instagram. If you're making technical content, you will go to Hashnode or Medium or LinkedIn. So we need to be very strategic around what platforms we are targeting and what resources we're trying to pull in. And when it comes to actually onboarding members, it's very important what value you bring in. The value can be a product, the value can be an idea, the value can be an understanding. Because community is not just about always product, ROI, and demos. It will be about how you are navigating your people with the heartfulness that you just don't want them to contribute, but to be part of this family of developers or the navigating to that journey and actually filling those voids. What they think, what they ideate is the actual outcome of what they're building. And through this process, you can actually leverage the trust and authenticity in your regular participants, in your regular developers, and in the enthusiastic way your community can grow so easily, because you are not just empowering with product, you are empowering with idea, you are empowering with thoughts, and giving them the right visibility over right platform by providing recognition, by providing shout outs, by providing partners and technologies which can actually leverage their mindset and bring their creatives out. I think that will be the best strategy you can do. It's all about authenticate, connect, trust, and become viable, because that's the key flow anybody should follow. Because first you build trust with people, second you
Hmm.
give them a platform to navigate with, and third you bring out something in terms of recognition. That could be swags, that could be some virtual shout outs, but in mostly it should be around recognizing and encouraging them to come out and say. I think that's the best way anyway can do it. And the
Wonderful.
energy of people.
Recognizing, of course, energy, recognizing them, trusting them, and moreover, supporting their idea and thought. Wonderful. On these pillars, a community can become a successful and a thriving community. Well said, Shravan. Now, I would love to know, there are a lot of members in a community, right, who are active, but some are contributing, some are supporting the community, but most of the members are just there as a lurkers and consumers. They just consume. So, how we encourage members to contribute more rather than just be a consumer?
Well, that's kind of a question, because as we have been seeing, whenever we boost up a community and when it comes to actually navigating regular thoughts over it, so it shouldn't feel like a burnout for people. So, for example, if, as you said, that there are multiple people actively contributing, and for example, let's have a pool. So, there are 500 people in the community server, and only 50 or 100 are actively contributing. Maybe 50, let's keep it at a very actual threshold. So, those 50 are not just contributors, those 50 wants to contribute because they feel the value. And those 450 remaining, they doesn't mean like they are just there to just hop into groups. They want to contribute, but they don't like to actually share their thoughts. So in order to trigger them, because not everyone will be same, everyone will have different thoughts, different mindsets. So we need to regularly identify where these people are contributing actively. For example, if I'm hosting a virtual event or a campaign with someone, if those people are actively contributing to that particular campaign in the terms of whether it be content, whether it be some social media shout out, whether it be some liking or reposting. So we need to identify what niche these people are interested in our community, what particular product or what particular communication they like when we share it, and how they are utilizing it in their regular life. because what they consume is about what they relate with. So it's not consumption, it's actually they are not able to see the community value in their life as their value for the community. So it's vice versa. So it's always about identifying the niche or the thought process they are looking into. And it's not easy always because we're not talking with them, we're just chatting over a server. So what happens it is ki for those members, you need to actively post something, rather it be a podcast, rather it be an event, rather it be any challenge that where these people can actually contribute into, and that brings your leverage, that your leadership is not just about bringing members but building ownership for those members to lead new initiatives. Because if you are the one always bringing up ideas, always bringing up thoughts, and the community is just participating, so that's not a two-way bridge. If you are done something, then people should come to you that, hey, you, here we did this, let's try this. So people not just see yourself as a leader, but as someone who can guide them to become leaders. That's the aspect they should also follow. That's what we followed. It's about we
Yeah.
saw someone and we navigated with them, we trusted them, they taught us how to build that, and we still see each other at the same stage. We have been meeting people, we have been actively contributing in community efforts, organizing events, hosting meetups, and actually bringing on real time engagement. When I say real time engagement, it's not about likes and comments, it's more like people coming back to you and saying, we love you because what you said, you did it in your own way, in your right way. And when some people come to you and say that, Manik, you did this and we learned a lot from it, that's your real achievement. It's not awards and trophies and campaigns you have run. It's all about the people who came back to you and said, you made a difference in our life. And in order to leverage that for those lurkers and those bundle of people, you need to be very actively thoughtful what campaigns I should plan it out and how I can leverage those member influence. And that's going to take your real mind energy, my brother, because that's the point where you will have to think not just from the community prospect, but from as a person sitting in that server, that why I should be there and actively be contributing towards it. I think that could be the best line of it.
Wonderful. That being beautifully said, like pretending to be in their shoes and then considering what needs to be done to make this space pretty valuable for me as a member of the community. And moreover, not only consider ourselves as a community leader, but as a mentor, as a guide, as coach, so that we nurture the ideas of our community members and give them the ownership to execute the initiative in the community. Beautiful, Shravan. That could be a really good way for someone if someone wanted to start the community and can support the notion of why people of the community are really important. So moving forward, Shravan, would love to know that you're working in the DevRel space and community space, right? So a lot of people misunderstood community building and community management, like with DevRel. So would love to explain the difference between DevRel and community management.
So basically, it's more about community is more around creating trust, creating that peer-to-peer initiatives that drives adoption. And DevRel is more around a bridge of communication between product developers and end users. So when it comes to DevRel and community, it's not a differentiator. They are partially connected with each other. So if I have I was going through some of the previous podcasts, and I think you had a podcast with Himantika where she explained the three C's: code,
Yeah,
community, and content. I think
yeah.
I remember, I heard that. So if we can leverage that pillar, and if we can understand what Himantika's thought was, and what I have been actually thinking about the same thing that Himantika shared. I read through that podcast, share the transcripts also. So the concept is all about community is the leverage of building trust and actually navigating people for what you want to build with them. And DevRel developer relations is more around how your product can effectively contribute to a developer's life cycle and make their life more easier. Rather, it can be dependable on the use cases, it can be dependable upon how they want to leverage the product or particular tool. But when it comes to community and DevRel, they are mostly interlinked. For community, you bring the trust and adoption for how your product operates and which layers it covers, and how that educative initiative through trust and content can bring up those people as your future customers and consumers, so that that also becomes an ROI in terms of business impact and in terms of business ROI. Because community can be easily leveraged, or what you can say, can be easily encouraged to contribute on a regular basis in your GitHub, in your discussions, in your Discord, so that they can also share their feedback, what they are feeling by using the product. what kind of pain points they can identify, because that's the best thing in develop. It's developer product feedback. It's a cycle that goes on, that we bring the people, those people are developers, those both contain together, and we be the bridge of communication between them, so that whatever problem they are facing in their regular developer scenarios or whatever products they are utilizing, we as DevRels become the key communicator between the product, the developers, and provide that feedback to the teams building those products, so that that can become more simpler and reduce the friction of onboarding. Then not someone is spending half an hour to just understand the product, how they can easily utilize and bring more through it, bring more innovation, bring more ideas. That's how the AI revolution was very fruitful, because in this you have just bringing your creatives, you're just typing a prompt and getting everything built. So that's the strategy. I think every development community should connect with each other. That community gives you that prompt, that what you need, and DevRel is that prompter where that actually navigates through a strategy and bring the fruitful product out. I think that's the best solution you can give. That community and DevRel are not just different; they are interrelated and intercourse with each other, because both bend on the same way, creating trust, creating adoption, and building their products.
Nice, building with products. So, Shravan, you mentioned AI, right? How do you leverage AI in community building? Because with the advent of AI, a lot of people are like generating messages from AI. I'm thrilled to welcome you as a part of our community. So, using AI, don't you think that we lost the touch everywhere we see messages generated by AI? So we can obviously recognize that it's not the person, it's not the community, it's AI. AI is talking. And moreover, some of the persons are really leveraging AI, automating the repetitive tasks, drafting the emails. So particularly would love to know your perspective on the use case and how we can leverage AI in our community.
Well, I'll take a pause here because it's AI and I'm working for AI company. So, well, what I will say, whatever role I'm working in. So I met him a few days ago. So he's joined our company as a CHO. And I think this point I'll raise here because we recently had a discussion with him regarding how AI is actually affecting us. I think what community perspective, the community prospects have changed by AI, by particularly utilizing it in on a regular basis. We have lost the human touch when
Yeah.
it comes to actually sharing what we feel. Because I also have been doing that. I'm using a lot of AI tools, navigating my work and reducing friction over that. But when it comes to actually talking to the people who actually built me today, I still need to go to GPT and write, can you write me something that I can share with them?
Oh my
So
God.
that even we're not able to give our 2 to 3 minutes to think what we should share. We're just giving a prompt to AI and getting it out. I think AI is a supportive character in your journey to actually build stuff and actually navigate process and reduce friction. But I think you should utilize AI very progressively and efficiently. When I say progressively, it's about building your idea, giving that creative to AI, just polish it more, but it should give that human touch, that what you want to convey. I think the message that should be conveyed when it comes to AI, it's not conveyed, it's like ordered to people. It's not in a way of convention. Because the convention point of view, that human touch, that there's two liners we should write for, that's the point of view we're missing it. So I think community managers and particularly DevRel professionals should utilize AI in terms of sharing and spreading awareness, but they shouldn't let it navigate the authenticity or the message they want to pursue, because that's where it gets broken, because AI can only share the thought, but a CM or a DevRel can share the message and the culture he wants to bring up in the community. And that's the key scenario every person should think and have a backward thinking whenever they're utilizing AI. That be thoughtful around what message you want to convey. Because AI can polish it, but only a human can bring up it alive. Like the
Right.
message should feed alive. It should have some life. It should have that empathy towards people, that whatever I'm sharing, I want to build with you, because a real leader, a real community manager, or a real community member, leave the leader part. We're not leaders. We are community. Word matters a lot. We are the community, so we should be authenticity towards it. We should have that authenticity to actually what we are building here is not just about us. It's about everyone coming together and building an idea. I think that's where people are taking AI wrong. But this can be leveraged very easily for actually taking AI as an authentic partner of whatever you are doing and just polishing it more, but messaging in your own way. Don't use AI to write everything. Just try to utilize in some way that it conveys the real message you want to pursue to your company. I think that's the best way anyone can do it.
Indeed. And if I share about myself, I use AI with brainstorming because I often come up with a lot of ideas and I don't know how to like, okay, I've come up with an idea, but now I have to make a detailed draft if I want to execute that initiative. Suppose recently I'm conducting a virtual summer school and I just have an idea. Let's introduce Harry Potter theme. Now here I leveraged AI and yeah, it's running. So yeah, AI can be a great tool for CMs to 10x their productivity. So moving forward, Shravan, a lot of people wanted to become DevRels because they wanted to work at the intersection of technology, AI, people, public speaking, growth, business, right? So would love to know your perspective. What particular skills should an aspiring DevRel start building right now, which will obviously help them in the future and can help them to become a good DevRel?
So what I think, it's there is nothing about good DevRel, great DevRel, the best community manager award. I think it's all about the empathy to build with people, grow with what they want to build for, have that motivation that you can speak in front of people, having that public speaking, having that understanding of breaking down technical concept and bringing them to life in a simplest way. And if you can navigate your thoughts into technology and if you can speak about it in a very simple and audible way, that's all you need. Because technical advocacy is the key part of being a developer, and technical advocacy doesn't just mean you need to be technically professional, but you need to be an ideator. You need to be an active contributor of what you are doing today, tomorrow, and in your regular life. Because being a DevRel has taught me one thing: you need to be actively, consistently following every single trend of the niche you are following. Because as the flow goes on, we have been seeing that times are changing. Not
Yeah.
just technology, the concept of having someone building through AI, then navigating through AI, then creating some own AI. Now that time was past the AI era now, agents and everything. So even if we drop the AI concept, I think it's about being a CM, hosting events. It's about navigating that trust factor and having that empathy for the people you're building with, the ecosystem you're scaling, that it should not have just contributors of your product, of your niche, of your audience. I think it has become very difficult to verify and identify the real audience you need for your product. So I think in order to do that, you need to be very actively navigating of what people are following and consuming today in terms of content, in terms of events they are attending, instead of what to have a networking session. So to have an active networking persona to be a DevRel. Secondly, being a effective communicator of what you want to convey and what message you want to put out. And third and the most important, I don't think that's kind of a leverage, but being an active creator, rather you create content, rather you write somewhere, but you need to be very active on your profiles, whether you are showcasing what work you are doing and how that is impacting some product or some authenticity over a product, because that's the real use case. You should have some leverage or whatever you are building and how that represents to a brand and how that people can contribute towards it. So creating that bridge between product, developers, and community, that's the best way you can be a developer. And your strategy can, you can't have a defined roadmap of being a DevRel that I can be a DevRel, anybody can be a DevRel. That's the thing. That does defend or a shift of mindset, that what people you want to bring with, how you want to scale it, that if that technically or non-technically wholly depends on the mindset. So being a DevRel is all about being an active networker, active contributor, and active empathy and trust builder, where you are not just building a community, you are you're building their, bringing those raw thoughts in life through your product. I think that's the best way to be a developer. Now that's my
Wow.
opinion, but can be changeable.
Yeah, of course. Every other DevRel and community professional have their own definition, and that is perfectly right. That is not wrong. It's just they are speaking with their thoughts, their ideas, their experience, and particularly I loved the phrase that you used. Anybody can be a DevRel, and nobody can be a DevRel. Wow, it is so deep, Shravan. Good to know. So, Shravan, you've built the API community long back. What if you wanted to build API community from scratch again today? What would you do differently, and how you'll start?
So it's a big point. And firstly, I'll totally say it's not me who founded it, it's the people. It's not API community is not founded by Shravan. The API community was founded by people who believed in the vision of a guy that was just traveling and roaming around events and saying, I want to build. So I think the best way, or if community in the globe today, they just need to sit with people, share their ideas, and let people drive it now. It's not the time you take the lead, it's the time let people build with what they want to see as a growth, as a life, as something that they want to pursue in future. But I think it's more about the point of pursuance, that what you want to see as someone who brings up life to what values and ideas you bring in a community, in an aspect or any thought leadership you are doing. Because building a community is easy. You can just put up a logo, build a group, launch a meetup thing. But the main thing that keeps it is about and actively engaging in them. Because many people face burnouts. Many people are not able to actively seek contributions, but it takes your efforts, your energy, and your mindfulness to actually leverage all those thoughts together and let people drive through it. Because ideation is easy, but executing it in a way that people feel valued, people feel encouraged that this guy has energy. Guy who is having the initiative should have that cheerishness that I can do this because it's not me doing it, it's us. When it comes to I to us, not, I think that's where the community is flourished because it's not the person building it, it's vision. A person is coming together to build it together. Because together, growing together, that also community, connect, collaborate. So these three words are not just three phrases, okay? These are build a community, connect with people. You don't have to have any knowledge or experience, bro. Idea into it, talk with the folks, bring them up, and you're done.
Wonderful. So, Shravan, I have like a quick question for you. In one sentence, if you would like to sum up what does community mean to you, so what would that one sentence be? Would love to know.
Well, just so much in my mind, but if I put this all together and share it, I think a group of people who grow better to. I think that's the best way anyone can put it. That the flourishness of the mindset is that community who grow by people who are bringing together and building together. I think that's the best way anyone would define it. It's all about people. Community is not just a word, it's an empathy to follow. It's a mindset to build. And it's all about togetherness.
Wonderful. So, before closing the discussion, any final points, advices, conclusion that you wanted to say to all the community builders, maybe aspiring or already building their communities, or all the DevRel professionals or aspiring DevRels who wanted to be the DevRels, anything that you wanted to share to them that will help them in their life and that will help them to ease down
Um,
their work?
well, Manik, you're putting it really nice, like I know everything. But what I will say, I'm still learning, I'm still adapting. We all are growing on the same pace. We're not at a very far level onto it. But as a suggestion from my experience, I think focus more on what your community needs from you. Focus on satisfying their real needs. That is encouragement, that growth. So pull out your idea, whatever you think, don't just keep it in your mind. Put it out, talk with people, navigate it through your ideas, build content, go out, meet people, network. I think the best way, don't let your energy die because you think this won't work. Leave this phrase. People are still thinking about that. Like I talk with people, so they say, I want to be a devil, I want to be a community guy. And when I ask them, let's network, come to talk, and they are gone. Because efforts don't define it, your actions will. An idea and see, but the real guy who will do this will you doing something like regular post or social. He will be always focused on people. Well, I will say I both regulating network, trying to reach out, creating my community and my work as well. But I think the best way anyone can put it is about just go out, bring your idea and start working on it. And if we need help, reach out. People still fear to reach out. They think like we are not at the level. And it's not about level. It's just about your mindset. Those and do it. Don't wait. Because it's not that the scenario is changing. It's about today is the world of taking action. It's not about thinking. It's about take action and do it. So if anybody want to build a community and build a career in DevRel, so just actively network, just share what you are building, be active on platforms, be a regular contributor. It can be through code, it can be through content, it can be through community. But in order to be a DevRel and be a community professional, it's very important to be active on every single thing that is going now. Rather it be tech, rather it be non-tech, but it's your dependency, your action, that how you are trying to articulate in some way that it gives you the visibility that this guy can be an ad. I think that's the best way I can put it.
Wonderful. And we have closed this discussion with a highly energetic note, and loved the discussion, Shravan, that you have shared. Network and energy should be like always high, and just don't think, take action. And today is the day of action. Is the takeaway that I'll be taking from our last question. Thank you so much, Shravan, for coming and for sharing all the valuable insight with us. It was amazing to have you with us. Thank you so much for your valuable time.